Hello, everybody, and shalom. I have some urgent news, and Hezbollah is now wanting to come around for round 2 of attacks on Israel. And I want to show you a book, the book of God's mysteries here. And in this book that I'm holding in my hand, it's already been written. It's already been prophesied. It was prophesied beforehand that October 7th was going to happen, that Israel was going to be bombed. I'm trying to find the date here and then I'll show you. Okay, it looks like it was, let me show you. March 19th. I had already been awake, but was still in bed with my eyes closed. I was hoping to fall back asleep to sleep longer when a vision came at around 8:07 p.m. I kept my eyes closed, watching it play out as it came, just like how the other dreams and most other visions I had. Okay, so it's just depicting the different things that I've seen in dreams. Kings were crowned. I saw that ahead of time. Now this is what I'm trying to show you. This is what I saw for Israel. It was panning right to left like this across the screen. And let me just read you the account. Part 7. The scene then changed from viewing people to viewing a battlefield from the air. The view was seen from high in the sky at the same height as the highest point of a missile's trajectory. Glowing white missiles started dropping from the sky. They came from away from me, flying toward my general direction. When they hit the ground, they left small and medium-sized plumes of mushroom clouds. There were 6 of them of this magnitude scattered all over the land, one after another. I then saw an overhead view of a large city that appeared twice. 2 attacks on Israel. As if I was slowly scanning across it from right to left. They read right to left. It's Israel taking it all in. Then there were around 4 missiles that hit that had larger plumes. Finally, the last 2 missiles were not seen coming in, but the largest mushroom clouds occurred from them. I waited for more, but my view had gone black, and my eyes again from having them closed. I sat up and prayed to God, asking for confirmation of what I saw. I only knew I had to start writing it all down. I felt the Holy Spirit within me after I wrote it all down. I also felt saddened from seeing the large-scale devastation that will happen from evil carnal plans. This right here is what I saw. There were 2 attacks in the country that reads from right to left, and I knew that it was Israel, and I said it on a podcast ahead of time, and I can link that in the description below. I have before, but Hezbollah says as of just today, it hit the news cycle that within days they're going to come back bigger, that if Israel was weeping before, now they're going to be wailing. So I'm just trying to say this again. People know now on the news scene, but I've known this, and it's been written in this book for a while. And I just want to give God the glory and the acknowledgement in it. And let's pray for Israel right now. It's going to be a larger attack. The thing is, I also saw other things. I saw the return of Jesus coming as a lion, people screaming at him. And of course, he's doing the will of the Father. September 30th happened, which was the start of everything. I've seen bombs that look like this bullet-shaped portion. Focus on that shape. It's heading to the west from the east. Massive, bright flash of light hits. George Washington, the America was hurt by it. And then that changed to a scene of several other faces all kneeling down and slowly crouching down and down and down as if they're really affected by it. Now, this is the weightier matters of faith of all the prophecy that I've been given. I've seen so many things come true, and this is just one more today that really hit home because Hezbollah announced that they're coming back for round 2 bigger, and it fits the prophecy. I had to share it. I've shared this before, but it's just another opportunity to give glory to God in what He is showing me. And I say all these things not to give warning because the world is already warned now. I've been warning them, but more so that if you would listen to what I am saying as a prophet of God, that when I'm trying to teach you of things that He has taught me, that you add weight to it, that you add the proper weight to it, and you listen to the teachings that are on this channel, because we don't know when our last breath will be. We need to focus on acknowledging God and walking with Him. We need to continue to live by faith. We need to be water baptized if we believe. We need to obey our Lord. That's how we have communion with Him, is by taking steps toward Him, toward heaven. We must seek the kingdom of God above all. That's what our focus is. Every day we go to work, or we hope to land a job, or we deal with stress. We have to pay another bill. We have to deal with the things that we deal with every day. But all we have to do is focus on God. Focus on our Creator. We don't know when the rapture will be. It's at least 3.5 years after the first horseman. It's during trumpet 7. Watch the previous series to see details on that. We could die before then. We don't know when our last breath will be, and we cannot take it for granted. And God is doing the best that He can. He's doing an amazing job through His words and His prophecy so that we can do the best that we can to follow Him. He's giving us an amazing opportunity to hear His word. And I just have to share this because I'm not just here to teach about pre-tribulation versus post-tribulation versus pre-wrath. I'm not just here for one thing. I'm here because I was led to God's truth. I was shown visions and prophecies and revelations. Given the depth of knowledge that He has, He's given me wisdom. He's given me so much. I've heard His voice. I've seen things that have now come to life before my eyes on the worldwide scale many times. I've seen Ukraine. I knew that Ukraine, that Russia was going to head to the west to invade and kill people 7 days beforehand, and 7 days later He invaded Ukraine. I've seen a king be crowned, and multiple kings in the same, multiple people in the same imagery that I wasn't sure if it was the same person or many. And then I came to see many crowned. There's so many things. I saw the Taiwanese president in military outfit. 3 weeks later, she was on the news in military outfit. I've seen bombs. They've happened. October 7th. I've seen more. And I've just showed you that it's been in a book. It is currently in a book right now. It appeared twice to the right, and I was scanning the cross in the right to left, and I knew it was Israel as they read from right to left. I said it in a pod. I don't know how many times I need to share it, but I will share it as much as I'm led. But in the coming days, let's pray for Israel. Follow God. Draw close to Him. Submit yourself. Deny. You have to self-deny. It starts with believing, but then you have to self-deny and you have to acknowledge God. Acknowledge Him. We have a relationship with him through our obedience. Our obedience can be a prayer. But faith is not belief. Faith is the expression of belief. Devils believe and they will go to hell. The difference is we do the good will of the Father in obedience. They are his good works. They are not ours. They are required to enter heaven, but they are not our works. We do not do good works to get to heaven, to earn our way into heaven. If they were our works and not God's, then they're actually not counted as anything, but they turn to be evil. At the end of the day, they get counted as evil because they were not for God. Everything we do must be toward God. And the things that we are led to do, that the Holy Spirit prompts us to do, the things that we do of his command, the things that we follow as in Christ as he has given us examples in teachings in, when we follow those things, that is obeying. When we walk, we are obeying. When we walk toward him, then those things that are done, that are put in our heart and mind with the Holy Spirit in us, are his. They are his. But we have to do his good will. Now, at the end of the day, he has said those things need to be done. But it still is not those things that save you. It is his grace that saves us. But through his grace, he gave us choice, and that's part of the new covenant. That's what a new covenant is. Or there's no new covenant. There's no covenant if there's not two parties with choice. We can't be pre-programmed robots. We're not predestined. We're not predetermined. We're predestinated. The root word is destiny. We're invited to the destiny where God is. We're invited to be with God. We're invited to heaven. We're not invited to hell. We're not predestined. We're not predetermined to go to hell. We're not predetermined to go to heaven. We are predestined. We're invited to walk with him to heaven. So it's our choice that he sovereignly gave us by his grace. Now, he says, I want to know who's genuinely going to love me. And at the end of it all, those who love him will be in heaven celebrating with him for all time and eternity. This is how he knows us, is by these rules. This is how he knows us ahead of time before we're even born. Because he knows that those who will love him will be in heaven with him. And so we need to choose to walk after God. And I hope that this adds weight to your choice today and ongoing. I pray that this plants a seed that is deep and it grows within you to be rooted in Christ, to know the weight that God is active. He's working. I was just watching a YouTube video about a gentleman who has studied quite a bit about the Dead Sea Scrolls and the timing of the calendar there, and they're saying that we're entering into the last Jubilee, the last 50 years of the 1,000-year period in 2025, and that the things that happen around the turn into the Jubilee can be a few years off, and that all throughout history, at the turn of an age, just before it and into it, there's this overlapping transition where prophecy spikes up. And he said that some things have already happened. The October 7th attack, he would have expected that to happen in a year or two from now, after 2025. But again, I've already been given these things just within the last few years. This was 2022 that I was given this prophecy. Brothers and sisters, it doesn't get any more real than the previous podcast that I've said it on before. I'm saying it now before the second attack will be larger. I'm showing you the book. There are no more boxes to check. My testimony is that I follow Christ. I fasted. I follow Christ. I submit my will. I deny. I feel the Holy Spirit every time I've ever denied and came to God in my whole life. The way I've known God, I know him in these ways that he's shown me. If I deny those things, I deny the whole existence of God and acting in my life, and that is purely untrue. But here is more proof that what I'm showing you has already been shown to a friend of mine, Eli Basarab, and to Zulon Press, the publisher, Priscilla, and all the people, all the editors that have seen all the postings and the updates to the book along the way for 4 years. that have seen all the additions that have come to the book beforehand in emails. Guy Wolek, the former Disney illustrator that illustrated all these, as a Christian, he prayed for these for him to be led to do all these drawings. He's had these sketches from me and this paragraph in an email to him. There's several people that have witnessed this, and I just wanted to take this time to just witness to you right now of the things that God has done regarding Israel. It's time to pray for Israel. It's time to walk with God. Be blessed.